Need to grab a little bit more water. Fucking make sure my throat's. I've been smoking all day long. I probably smoked a dozen blunts today.
Dude, straight up, I probably smoked 3 maybe, but the fucking. I've been feeling alright.
If I can, I stay high fucking all day long. That's just me.
See, I don't care too much about being the high part. I just really like to smoke the whole day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll smoke half a blunt, smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
Smoke half a blunt,
used to
smoke a cigarette.
too.
And then just keep doing that over and over again.
I did this new life challenge. I think I told you about it, and it was like part of it was like, you know, changing a bunch of stuff, like my lifestyle, my habits, and getting rid of social media was part of it. Quitting cigarettes again was part of it. I still smoke weed, but I don't really drink anymore, and I don't drink any soda. I just drink water, like tea, juice, coffee. That's mostly what I drink is coffee throughout the day while I'm working.
Drink coffee. How many cups of coffee do you drink today?
10, at least 10 to 12 throughout the day. Like not just in the morning either. Like right on through lunch and shit.
12 coffees through lunch. Heard. All right. So, with no further ado, allow me to introduce the CEO of Sun Health Essentials, my good friend and longtime supporter of Florida's finest, Zack Leonard. My man, how you doing?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Good to be here.
All right, so with this being the second episode of FuegoTV, there's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things we can get into, and still a whole lot of room to improve. With that being said, though, I'd like to allow you, with this being your first episode on, to introduce yourself to anybody who doesn't already know you that's listening.
Well, I'm a longtime resident of Citrus County. I've been here 13 years. My alma mater, high school alma mater, is Crystal River High Pirates. Played football there for 4 years. Yes, sir. I played there at the end, like when we had a good team, when we almost beat North Marion.
What year?
That was back in, I want to say I think that was like 2013. I think that was 2013, 2014, something like that.
2013, 2014. So you played your senior year?
No, I started playing halfway through my freshman year, JV, and then I got moved up to varsity at the end of my sophomore year.
I played a little bit of high school sports myself, you know. I played on the JV team for the basketball at Lakewood High School, probably around 2014, I think, 2015 maybe. Something around there.
I played when we had Dallas Baldner and Sam Franklin. Dallas, Sam, if you ever hear this, man, I'm proud of you guys. Y'all are you went to college, and, you know, Sam, you're in the NFL playing for the Carolina Panthers now. I know everybody here in Citrus County is proud of you. You know, you played for Citrus High and Crystal River High, and I know everybody here tunes into Carolina TV just to watch you play, so you made it, bro.
That's what's up, dude. You said, what was their last name again? You said the same last name twice. What was it? Baldner?
Yeah, the Baldner family. They're kind of like a little established dynasty here.
Yeah, I think Dan Baldner was actually my coach in Pop Warner.
Yep.
Yeah, he was
everybody's coach. He coached everybody, man. Sharks, Little League, JV.
And his son Cole, right? Or was it Coach Russ's fucking kid, Cole? I don't know which one. Maybe I even got it mixed up, the name.
They're brothers, and I know the kid. I played with all of them. I played with Cody.
I know who you were talking about, Dallas. I heard about him a lot, but I played personally with Cole. I thought he was a pretty good wide receiver. I think he was. Yeah. If I remember correctly. It was so long ago.
They're all great because their dad, you know, Russ, he played for Tampa.
Yeah,
so
super cool.
Yeah, I remember he passed all that down to his kids and his family, and that's why they're so good, because they get brought up with it from birth. Football's like, it's in their veins. That's how you do it. That's how you create superstars.
Well, speaking of superstar, man, to be a superstar, it takes luck, hard work, and with that, I think that's
mostly hard work.
Mostly hard work, but you still got to get lucky. That's what my dad taught me when I was younger. Because hard work ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you work hard, you get screwed in the end. You know what I'm saying? You just got to take that and keep going. But with that being said, I know you're working hard and you got big plans to do your own thing in terms of vitamins, supplements, and other types of things in that field. And if I could just get you to elaborate more on what you've been doing in the last 5 years in terms of professionally, and let's figure out a way to segue that into what you've been doing or what your goal is to do. Hold on, man. I'm probably gonna have to re-ask it. I've never had to edit before.
No, you're good, man. We can work with this. Everything to me.
Hey, wait till the edibles kick in. It's gonna be even worse.
Absolutely. Everything to me in my work life kind of just bleeds into my regular life, and I notice the more disciplined I am.
Well, hold on. Allow me to kind of correct myself in a way to allow more understanding for anybody who's listening. I really do not understand fully what exactly the field you work in is. I know that you work in manufacturing vitamins and other types of supplements and whatnot, but when I tell people what I do, for example, like grading, a lot of people don't know that. Do you know what grading is?
Yeah, you're leveling out a piece of land.
You're a rare one. You're a rare breed, bro. A lot of people that ever ask me what I do for work, the only thing I can tell them is I load dump trucks. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't really explain it, because otherwise...
No, I know.
You got to go down a rabbit hole.
I know about land development, bro. I used to operate heavy equipment. I used to work at the power plant. I dumped the dirt that became the foundation for that natural gas addition.
Kind of makes you a local legend, bro. You kind of built this shit.
a little bit. Not really. I mean, nobody's going to know your fucking name because you dumped some dirt. But
you should have wrote it in the concrete though, before it dried.
I had fun over there, man. It was cool working at the power plant. It was an experience. I've been fortunate enough to be able to put myself out there and do jobs that I've had no experience in, but just kind of jumped into the job and learned as I went. And that's kind of how you just grow as a person, and you gain experience, by doing shit you ain't never done before. And I've done a lot of different stuff around Citrus County, but I guess I've finally settled into making vitamins, because to me it's the perfect blend of physical labor and working with math, because I'm always working with like equivalent fractions and decimals. Everything I work with is in kilos. I have to figure out how much raw product to order and how much cutting agents to add to it to get the desired milligram, and then figure out how to put it in a capsule and make it run through a machine.
Can you tell me how you got the job in the first place?
My father went to a bar, and he started frequenting this bar a lot, and he got in tight with the owners, and he found out through the owners that they also owned a vitamin factory and a vitamin store in the Homosassa Publix Plaza.
The owners of the bar also owned a vitamin factory.
Yes, sir.
That sounds like some big money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, keep going.
And he started working there, and then he told me about it and said they're looking for people. And when I first started working there, man, I didn't know shit about shit when it came to vitamins. I had never even thought in my life that I have a job making vitamins before, like...
When it comes to making vitamins, what is it more like a hands-on thing, or are you using like tools and other machines to build it?
Oh, it's fully hands-on.
Is it like on a wheel where like you do one and then the next one comes and you do that one?
No, you're in a room full of industrial mixers, bro, with huge steel metal bowls, like giant versions of like mixers, and you're taking 25 kilo drums of product and prying them open, and you take a giant scoop and you just start weighing out however many kilos you need to get the desired milligram and throw a little cutting agent in there and throw it on the mixer and big ass 60 quart industrial mixers like this tall. Fucking.
You gotta use machines to work that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said before you was operating you said you helped move all the dirt over. So were you loading up the truck? Were you driving the truck?
I was driving a 6-wheel off-road dump truck.
Those bitches are bad.
John Deere,
right?
Yeah, John Deere.
Was it articulated too?
It was
like where it turns in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah. It was fully automatic.
That's easy.
It was sweet. It was sweet.
It was a nice experience. How long did you do that for?
For about a year.
Why did you stop doing that? It sounded like a sweet gig.
Just
you got more money, huh?
Wanted to do something else.
Oh, so the
it wasn't necessarily more money. It was the same amount of money. Everywhere I've gone pretty much makes the same. I've noticed that about Citrus County. Excuse me. No matter what you do here, if you're at a certain level in the company, you pretty much make the same amount of money. You know, you're not making like big money until you get into like management.
Yeah.
Like most of the people that make good money around here in Citrus County are like managers of restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's mostly where the managerial positions are. Because Citrus County is pretty much a service industry, unfortunately.
I know back a few years ago, a lot of the guys who would make more money or more than the average guy would be selling a lot of wheat. But I know recently Citrus County specifically has been cracking down on a lot of that shit. I know like last year, 2 people I know got raided. Not personally, one personally, the other one kind of just went to school with him. But it's crazy. See, I saw on Facebook today, actually, in Marion County, they in the last, 2 weeks or whatever, they confiscated 36 stolen firearms just in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And there's been a lot of shootings going on over there. I don't know if you've been in the loop about that, but it just seems like people are wilding out, man. It's like Central Florida is becoming the new Chicago or some shit.
Well, there's definitely an air of violence in our country right now. I can tell you that, T. And I don't agree with it.
Why do you think that?
I think, people, they kind of just shake their head and go, it's a sign of the times, but I think it's just people don't want to take responsibility for what they're doing anymore, honestly. Like, you can be a man, you can be a gangster, and still have responsibility and a little bit self-control, you know?
One thing I always took pride on, not to interrupt you, I apologize.
No, you're good, bro.
What I feel like is important is, it's one of the most important things that I've lived my life off of, is just being true to your word. Like, in high school, middle school, and whatnot, when all the guys are interested in talking to girls, getting girlfriends, chasing tail or whatever, I always took a great level of pride in the fact I never once lied to a female in order to try to manipulate or work a situation in my favor at all. It was always, this is what I am, you know what I mean? You take it or leave it, you know what I'm saying? Go kick rocks is usually how I would word it, but back when I was 16. But I just always felt like, and the men in my life that I grew up with, shout out my dad, my grandpa, rest in peace. Shout out to Chris, my stepdad, too. A lot of good guys in my life that have showed me some shit in terms of how to be a respectable, honorable man, you know what I mean? And when I was younger, I would always get in trouble and whatnot, but I always, you know what I'm saying? I always told them, I said, they didn't think I was listening at all. They didn't think I give a fuck about nothing, because all I was doing is just getting in trouble a lot, is what they saw, you know what I'm saying? But I always listened to what they were saying, rather it seemed like I was like listening to it like it was like the Bible or it was law or something like that. It was a different story. But I was always able to learn a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. And then when I got older and I got to a point where I had to stop going to school and start working, then it just made me get really serious. So at that point I ended up having to kind of step up, almost like whenever a lot of your friends, I'm sure, has had kids. You might see them step up, start working a lot more, start being a whole lot more responsible, and start not going to the bar anymore or whatever the fuck.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kids are a game changer. It makes you get your shit together.
For me, when I got out of high school, it was that. Because then I started working every day, and I realized that my pops was not going to let me live with him forever. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty cool living with him on the lake in Ocklawaha, but I knew it wouldn't last forever. So I had to figure out what I was going to do. And a big part of why I have the little success I do have in life now is because of being honest, being true to your word, being responsible. Like you were saying that our society lacks. That's something that I've always took great pride in.
And I can see that, dude. I saw that the first conversation that we had, and that's why, I came on this podcast, and because, we share a lot of the same views, and I want to see everybody that has, even a little bit of my mindset, be successful or have a shot at being successful, and everybody deserves to have their voices heard. And that's an amazing thing about podcasts, is because everything, the way the world communicates is so revolutionary. Everybody streams everything, so podcasts are a platform for your voice to be heard around the world, and I think everybody should take advantage of an opportunity like that.
See, another reason I wanted to do a podcast is because, I know we're getting off on a sidetrack right now, I do want to talk more about what you think about today's society and why there's so much seemingly uprising and violence that is not controllable by the local police departments or whatever the fuck. I mean, I know that it was just a few years ago, a fucking police department got burned to the ground in like in Seattle, and they took over that one block or whatever and called it Warhawk or whatever the fuck dumb shit they called it. But so I want to talk more about that, but I'll quickly finish my point by saying that about the podcast, I wanted to start doing it because it was a way for me to kind of document, or it is a way for me to document where I am at now and what I'm doing now on a day-to-day basis. So whenever I get to go forward, I mean, it's not all about me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be all about me. But a little bit, obviously, I'll have to contribute in that way to the podcast. And it'll be more valuable down the road. You know what I'm saying? Whenever people get famous, man, or whatever, they always would wish that they had more pictures or when people die even. You know what I'm saying? Forget being famous or whatever. When people die, you always wish that you had took more pictures with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right, of those beginning moments.
Like, why didn't we take more selfies? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause, I don't know. That's a good point, I think, about that. But let's get back into why do you think this society has so much an uprising in violence? Why do you think that it's not controllable? Beyond the people not taking accountability, being responsible for what they say and do. I mean, this is the deepest topic I've ever gotten into on FuegoTV. This is the moment right here.
I'm
about to roll up.
I could literally list probably 100 reasons that are all related to each other, but I could dissolve it down to two, and it comes down to the people that are in charge, that are running this, this country, this world, that are in charge of the things that we see on TV, the things that we hear on the radio every day. They are responsible for creating an air of violence. We see every day the dysfunction of our government played out on international TV. The rest of the world is watching us. Fighting, our leaders are fighting like children. They're inept and they're doing things that are destroying this country.
It looks like a fucking Family Guy episode sometimes. I mean, or something of like a cartoon, right? Like whenever you see a Joe Biden speech sometimes, like you ever seen one of those like compilations of whenever he's just looking like inept at the press conferences when he's just seemingly falling asleep, slurring over his words. I mean, it's like I tell you what, if Joe Biden got pulled over by a police officer, right, and the only vocal dialogue that you had back and forth with the police officer and Joe Biden was take any of his press conferences, right? If that's all you had, the cop would pull him over. At least get him out of the vehicle and make him walk on the line. You know what I'm saying? He would at least, because the dude just everything he says, he sounds drunk a little bit. What do you say, or do you think that's too harsh?
Well, I think that could be a hard...
I listened to a lot of his press conferences. I listened to a lot of his, the whatever he got to say, and I was even impressed whenever he said that, whenever the 13 troops died in Afghanistan when they pulled out, I was very impressed whenever he had that speech the next day, or the same day rather, saying that we're going to get them. And then soon after that, it was reported that they killed the people that was responsible with the drone strike, right? But then another week or so, it came out that they didn't kill those people. They killed some, like, the wrong, like, civilians or something
like an innocent family.
But he was bragging about it, like, oh, look at me.
That's why I don't think he sounds like he's incoherent. I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
Right.
He knows exactly what he's doing. The Democrat Party knows exactly what they're doing, and they are making us look weak, but they're stoking the flames of war at the same time to elicit a response from our enemies. They're emboldening, Russia and China to do all these things. These displays of power, challenging us in ways that they never would have when Donald Trump was president. And everybody can see that, and it's like they're trying to...
You know what I seen today
It's a sham.
On my way home from work? And I've never seen anything like this in my 22 years of life. There's probably 30 to 50 people on the side of the road, on top of the World Retirement Community, outside on 200. In the weather conditions that we had today, around 10, 11, 12 o'clock, whenever I rode through there finally, they all were riding, wearing Trump gear, Trump signs, and just, as if the voting is tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? They're just, I've never seen support for a candidate that lost, you know what I'm saying, mind you, and then for this long, because they're outside there. It's not just a today thing. It's pretty frequent. It's like about once a week you'll see them out there, and
it's because Trump represented the independence of America again, a resurgence of independence, both, nationally as a country and individually as people. That's what capitalism, free market economies do. We lower taxes. We allow people to be free and make choices, and we don't believe in big government and big business and monopolies. And we believe people should hold on to as much of their money as possible, and government should have as little to do with people's lives as possible. And it goes back to the second point I was going to make earlier about the uptick in violence. There is, like, not to, copy Joe Rogan, but there's a fucking inequality.
Go ahead and copy Joe Rogan, man. I do it all the time.
There's a fucking effort inequality in this country, and there's people, there's an air of lack of personal responsibility. Like, nobody wants to take responsibility for their actions, and there's so people feel like their lives are going by so quickly that the things that they do just don't matter. So they just need to get as high on life as they can, and it doesn't matter how many people they hurt, and people are so quick to pull a gun these days. I think that's another huge problem. I'm a firm believer in Second Amendment rights, but people are so quick to just get pissed off and pull a gun. It's like, I'm not advocating violence, like fighting or bullying or anything like that, but I think, of course, I think it was a lot better back in the days when people just settled things with a quick scrap and they shook hands afterwards.
Totally. Well, that's more of a East Coast Southern thing. I know that specifically gang violence, or at least the roots of gang culture in America started on the West Coast. And I know that we were talking earlier about how rap started on the East Coast, but a lot of times people get that mixed up. But really, I believe it was in the early to mid 1970s or whatever, when the Bloods and the Crips were formed or whatever, and then you got the GDs, BDs over in Chicago and the Northeast that developed a little bit later and just seems like pop culture right now is being violent as pop, like how it went, like
the industry is promoting it.
Like 4 years, probably like 4 years ago, 6 years ago maybe, it was popular to do drugs, right? Like everybody was talking about popping beans or doing Molly or whatever, you know what I'm saying? There were songs just called Molly, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, there's no way that would sell now, and it wouldn't sell back before that era, but for some reason it was a hot thing for a little minute. Now it just seems like the hot thing is violence. And showing how real you are.
Everything is about taking your girl and doing things. There was always an air of competition among men. There's always going to be, that's just human nature. But the industry, they are playing on people's negative emotions like anger, rage, jealousy, like greed, envy. They're playing on that shit to get you excited, to get you to feel like if you can exert your will stronger than anybody else around, that if you can dominate everybody else around, you'll have all the bitches, you'll have all the drugs, all the money, and it doesn't matter who you hurt on your way to getting what you want. And when you have almost everybody in the world listening to that kind of music, thinking that same way, you're going to have a lot of violence. You're going to have a lot of competition. It's going to be like the Wild Wild West,
Yeah, well, I think that it's important to put a positive message in music overall. I do have some songs where I typically wouldn't go so far in a direction of dark, you know what I'm saying, energy, like a trap type of record, but usually what I've been doing lately has been a little like alternative rock, punk rock type shit, and I like that because you're able to get a positive message out and make it more artistic, you know what I'm saying? It's more like do you think in 100 years people are going to still listen to Gucci Gang more, or do you think that people are still going to listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire more?
Oh, absolutely, Earth, Wind, and Fire, because it gives you those positive vibes.
It's a classic. It's a timeless type of music. You know what I'm saying? But that Gucci Gang shit, it got 1 billion views on YouTube now. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably more than Earth, Wind, and Fire's best song has on YouTube. However, a lot of people who listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire, they didn't listen to it on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? They went by the record. And they probably weren't one of those 1 billion that listened to Gucci Gang either. They probably know. I'm the only guy. They probably know what good music is, Well, I had to at least go check it. I never really liked that song, Gucci Gang, but, I like the fact that a Florida artist was doing something noteworthy and getting some shine and whatnot. I think he's from Broward County or somewhere down south in Miami or some shit maybe, but
it is good exposure for the state.
He is funny though too. He doesn't really take himself too serious, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of can respect it in terms of he's not trying to be the hardest rapper like Nas, you know what I'm saying? He's not trying to write the best shit like Eminem. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to make funny shit and make it cool. What do you need? A grinder?
Yeah, you got one?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, Lil Pump and Tekashi 6ix9ine. I really don't like 6ix9ine at all, but man, the golden era of Instagram. I hate to say it, but the golden era of Instagram was when he's fucking beefing with everybody on Instagram Live. And then doing the stupid ass shit, like when he went to Chicago at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then pretended like he posted the video the next day at 10 to act like he was there at 10. You know what I'm saying? That shit's so it's so corny.
That's crazy.
But it's funny though, and I don't know. As long as you don't look at it serious, then there ain't really. Nothing wrong.
I can't believe they made a Hulu documentary about him.
No, I didn't watch that shit at all, man. That shit's trash. I seen it on Instagram. What the fuck I need to see it again for? What is Hulu gonna tell me that I don't already know?
Right? I saw that shit played out in real life.
Man, I could have made the 6ix9ine movie. They should have called me A6 Productions. Fucking
first Major customer right there.
There you go. Go all the way pop off day one.
Too bad he's in witness protection.
I think so. I know that dude. He got to have something coming to him eventually. You know what I mean? The fucking with all the shit that he talked. I mean, shit, I used to talk shit on Facebook, and then motherfuckers wanted to hit me up. You know what I'm saying? So I know that and always at school or some shit. So I know that people got to be coming for him. But anyway, fuck that. I want to go ahead and talk about now since I just spent time rolling up. Now you're rolling up. We got some edibles here that we took a picture of.
Ooh, it's edible time. Let's do it. Edible segment.
We talked a little bit about how we should do it. You said the Airheads are going to be your favorite, probably, right? Where's the? Hold on.
Yeah, we got 6 different kinds here, and
we got Trolley, sour medicated all-star mix, 600 milligrams of THC a pop. Is that a pop or is that combined?
That's total. That's total.
Okay.
That's total.
So 600 milligrams in this package.
And I believe there's about 8 to 10 pieces in there.
Trolley, sour, bright, crawlers, berry. That one is probably going to be my favorite. I really like the strawberry. 600 milligrams as well. Octopus. What do you think that's going to taste like? An octopus? Do you know what an octopus tastes like?
I hope not. Shit. The only thing I've eaten close to an octopus is fucking calamari.
I'm about to say the closest thing I ate to octopus would be pussy. I've never had an octopus, but I think
that was a James Bond movie, Octopussy.
Octopussy?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that. Sounds like a good movie. You might get the wrong movie, but it might be good.
I think you might get the wrong movie popping up, but you might, if you search hard enough, you might find it.
Hard enough. You got gas heads, airheads, extreme bites with how many? Everything else had 6. All right, so this has 600 too.
The gummies are 600. The cereal bars are 500.
Well, since they're all about the same size, right? It looks like you got them from the same place too, right? So, and if it's 10 pieces for here, 600 milligrams, what does that make it per piece?
That would be like, if there's 10 pieces,
you graduated high school, what, 60 milligrams
60 milligrams per piece.
See, good thing we got you on the podcast.
That's part of my job, bro. Doing the buying shit. I gotta figure out the milligrams.
All right, and since I'm already broke down the rest of it, let me go ahead and introduce what the fuck else we got. We got some Fruity Pebbles treats, tear, share, and enjoy. Sweetened rice cereal, natural and artificial fruit flavor. This is legit and legitimately 500 milligrams THC per treat. They ain't fucking around on this one.
Nah. That's some serious stuff.
Now, are you planning on leaving with any of this shit? Or are you planning on...
we're doing all of it right here, right now. That's what this segment's for.
Oh, my goodness. Look, they say start with 1 serving.
And it's got instructions on it. These are...
cook it? You can cook it?
These are... no, you're not supposed to...
It says nutrition facts. It looks like a microwave on the picture. Like an oven or some shit.
No, that's a safe.
I didn't read it.
That's a safe to keep. You're supposed to keep these out of reach of children. But these are official California edibles from California, brought into Tampa, and we're gonna try them right now. So let's.
What do you want to start with personally? You want to start with your favorite?
I think we should start with the cereal bars.
Start with cereal bars.
Yeah. Right. So
let me go ahead and
tear these open. I wish you guys had video for this because these are awesome. Wish you guys could see these. And I bet they taste as good as they look.
See, now, I thought the other one was Fruity Pebble. Now, I actually got to correct myself. It turns out that this is, in fact, a Captain Crunch edible coming in at 500 milligrams.
Yeah, we got 2 different kinds. We got
not a Fruity Pebble.
We got Fruity Pebble,
small correction,
Captain Crunch.
This
break that bar in half right there and pass that to my G.
Alright.
He's gonna do the same.
So I got half Fruity Pebble, half Captain Crunch.
Which one you want to eat first?
I'm going to go with Fruity Pebble. I'm going to eat half of that one first. So far, so good. It tastes exactly like Fruity Pebbles.
Exactly. And you got the marshmallow holding it together.
Very much so. I mean, even the texture in your mouth is very much so the same as what you would expect from a traditional.
And I'm not getting any, like, THC flavor yet.
No.
Usually, there's, like, a little, like, fire, you know, you can taste.
That's my least favorite thing when it comes to eating edibles is...
Yeah, you can taste that.
Like, when you eat a cookie,
flavor.
it's too much. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm eating straight weed, it tastes like.
And this is like, there's none of that. It just tastes like a regular, like a Rice Krispie treat.
And it ain't weak at all, because it's a small-ass bar. And if it has 500 milligrams
so that's
per
250,
bar.
that's 250 in that half.
250 and just a half.
Nope. All right, let's check out this. Oh, this isn't straight Captain Crunch. They got like berries. Got like berries in this.
This shit is like 7 different colors.
Yeah.
And I'm colorblind too, so it makes it even more complicated. You go ahead and put it in my mouth.
Before we get ahead of ourselves, I'm gonna give that Fruity Pebble treat like a 10 out of 10 because I couldn't even taste the weed. It was awesome.
You gotta say it's a 10 out of 10 because if it tastes exactly like the treat and the texture is the same, it's gotta be a 10 out of 10. But are we screwing ourselves if we rate the first one a 10 out of 10? Is it possible that we just stumbled upon the 10 out of 10 as the first one?
Well, it's going to be okay because I already rate this one at least an 8 or an 8.5 just because I just bit into this Captain Crunch and I could taste immediately the THC gas flavor. So this one's going to get a lower score. It's still delicious, but I can definitely taste the edible kick.
I had to go ahead and finish my mouthful because I had the Fruity Pebbles mixed with the Captain Crunch. And what that was doing...
It was throwing it off.
It was throwing it off, causing massive difficulties when it comes to equating the calculated review of this product.
Exactly. You want to, like, wash it down and then go for the next one.
And I'll be honest with you. I have not yet witnessed the same thing now that I'm tasting and chewing up the Captain Crunch now. I haven't had the same THC. Well, I could say I could see a little bit more, but I'm not as bad as what you would say. I would have to say this is a 9. And to be honest with you, I was looking forward very much more so to the Trolleys. Or Trolleys, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Trolleys.
Trolleys?
These are actually satire candies that mimic, they're the real trolley candies in real life.
Yeah, okay. So, I was looking forward to that more and more. I like a lot, very much so like gummies and shit like that. The Fruity Pebbles cereal thing, I figured that might be a little bit hard to down, being how thick they usually are, and how if it did have such a severe THC taste, I could definitely see that.
No, these were nice and smooth.
Very smooth. I gotta give it a 9. I gotta give it a 9. You said 8?
8.5.
8.5.
Fruity Pebbles. Captain Crunch, and I gotta go with 10 on the Fruity Pebbles just because that one was perfect.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and write this down because this is serious shit, man. The Fruity Pebble.
And right now we're gonna pop the first gummies. And this is the Trolley Sour Medicated All-Star Mix because we're a couple of fucking all-stars on this podcast. And, we might as well get this
3-5-2 stand up.
This shit started.
Alright, so I got everything written down. Fruity Pebbles, 10 out of 10 for both. Captain Crunch, 8.5 to Zack, 9 for Tyler. That's an official rating with more to come.
All right,
I'm finishing up the Captain Crunch right now. I'm going to have to wash it down with some of this lemonade.
Oh, shit.
Might need another drink.
We got like an assortment. It looks like we got... Okay, so this is an all-star mix. I see what's going on here.
Break it down.
We got 2 octopuses. We got like a sour gummy worm here. A couple like fucking... Looks like Frankenstein's hand about to bitch slap you, and I don't even know what the hell that is.
Looks good.
We're gonna break it down. What's your favorite color there, T? Go ahead.
I like the one in the middle. Can I please get that one right there?
Yeah, man. That's Frankenstein's hand right there, about to bitch slap some THC on your tongue.
Alright. Gotta finish up this Captain Crunch before I go in.
I'll try this fucked up looking one.
Why is it fucked up? Did they fuck up making it? They gotta hit you up, bro.
Look like a half moon or something.
They gotta hit you up and get them gummies looking right. Well, which one is that? Because that one gotta take a knock in the rating if the gummy don't look right?
I don't know, man. That's good, Frank.
This is the All-Star.
It was good.
Okay, it was good. The All-Star mix is good so far.
This is pretty damn good. Which color octopus you want? You pick.
I'll take it pink.
I'll go with the green.
Alright. No, officially.
Can't go wrong with green.
I'm hitting the first trolley right now with getting the bitch slap on the tongue, as Zach said it. My first thought is it tastes great.
It tastes just like the candy, the real candy. And I'm still not tasting that THC burn. Like, these edibles are really fire at masking that gas flavor of THC. If you have experience eating edibles, you know that they can have a very pungent taste to them, aftertaste especially. And there just doesn't seem to be any of that with these.
Now let me ask, was the octopus in the same bag as the All-Star mix, the Frankenstein hand that bitch slapped me in the tongue?
Yeah, all those different
that was in the All-Star
size
mix?
ones was the All-Star mix, yeah.
Now, it felt like to me, the octopus had a little bit more of a THC taste than the Frankenstein hand. Now, I don't believe that to be so, because if it was in the same bag, I would assume that it was equally distributed amongst the different pieces.
I think it had more of that sour coating, the sour crystal, sour crystal coating.
Yeah, that crystal, all that.
That's what made it.
That would explain.
That's what made it silver. That'd be cool if that sour crystal was also.
Because the octopus was so much bigger.
THC.
Because think about, since it's so much bigger, more surface area.
All right,
Or the crystals.
We're gonna crack into Tyler's. Probably the one that's gonna be Tyler's favorite.
This is what I've been looking forward to since last week.
The very berry.
I didn't know it that we would get the very berry,
and we're gonna get very, very high.
Very, very, very high.
Let's see, we've already eaten 2 bars and a whole pack of gummies, and this is the second pack of gummies.
Now hold on. One more thing I think that would be good for the listeners to be in the loop of. We're at 500 and 500, so that's 1,000.
Yeah, we might as well.
So we split that. What's the milligram count? We're at 1,000 now. Split that between 2, as we've been splitting every single piece so far. Thanks to Zach.
So that would be both of us having 500, and then we both shared this gummy. So you got 300.
300 from that. So I'm at 800.
Yeah, we're both at 800.
Okay, we're both at 800 milligrams right now, and we're getting into the third.
Looks like we got a bunch of sour gummy worms here.
And like I said,
very
FuegoTV, as the representative for this channel, I gotta say, shout out to Zach for coming through clutch, big time, with the assortments, if I may call it myself.
The catering.
The catering.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We always bring the heat, always bring the fire.
Just like Miami.
Pick up, bro.
You take the piece.
We got 5 there.
So 5. You got 5? I got
5. And then we got more here.
Well, I got into it early. While Zach is distributing the catering goods, I got into the. What is this one that you opened up?
This is the very berry.
Oh, very berry. I immediately gotta say, the marijuana, the can, whatever you want to call it, the weed taste is a lot more severe on this one than on any other that I've had so far. Is there a way, is it possible to think that it is adding up? You know what I'm saying? As the pieces go down, that I'm tasting it more just because of the total milligram level that's been taken in.
No, I think you're right.
Like a snowball effect.
I think you're right, because I just ate the first...
you are the expert whenever it comes to intaking supplements, manufacturing supplements. So if FuegoTV ever has a question like this, I would think there's no one better to ask than Zack Leonard.
Absolutely. I'm your local representative for any of your nutraceutical needs.
Shout out the CEO of Sun Health. Essentials. And essentially, I think that this is a pretty good breakdown so far of what we got.
I think you were right on the money. I can definitely tell the THC taste in it. It's extremely pungent. Like a snowball. It's on my tongue. Like it's that fire. Yeah.
And at this point, with us being at 800 a pop before we started the very berries, it's safe to say that each piece is roughly about maybe 30 to 60 milligrams, would you say?
See,
there was 10 pieces in the All-Star.
No, there was 5.
Which one? Okay, the Gas Heads Extreme Bites. There's 10 pieces, it says on the.
There was 14 in this one.
What? I'm just trying to think about the math. If you said there was 60 in this one, because you do 600 divided by 10 being 60, I would think there's about 30 milligrams each. With there being 14 pieces in here, roughly about 50% more volume in the bag having to be distributed, the milligrams of THC.
I think it's just the way that it's...
I'm just saying, it's quickly adding up. As these small worms go down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The milligrams are totally adding up quickly.
It's more dispersed because they made so many of the gummies.
And getting back to the flavor, too. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I haven't had one piece that I didn't want to just absolutely destroy.
Right, just keep eating, like...
I mean, this is, I gotta be honest.
This is like Halloween, like...
It's like Halloween.
Yeah.
Just like is it in 2013, Halloween.
Yeah, shout out to Tampa Docks for receiving the shipment. Shout out to California Weed Farms. And
shout out Cali.
And legal farmers everywhere for... producing this awesome...
Shout out farmers. What is that?
THC and these...
USAA? What is the Farmers Association or whatever? USFA? Is that what they call that?
FS...
There's some high school program. I don't know, man. Ag.
Ag. Ag. No, but shout out to them because without farmers, everything that we eat, smoke, and, pretty much consume every day just... wouldn't be possible. So
man, shout out America, shout out the farmers. We're doing things all right in 2022. We got a lot of work to do, but we're
absolutely.
Doing okay.
This is our year. Everything's already turning around. Shit's just done a complete 180 in my life and in a lot of people's lives that I know. And everything's going to continue to get better, guys. We just got to hang in there, have hope, and just just try to hold yourself to a little bit of a higher standard, I'm not saying it in a toxic way. Just try to be good to yourself, be good to everybody, and don't be quick to anger. We can all get along and we can all prosper in this world. There's more than enough out there for everybody. We just gotta take it from the greedy folks that already have it.
Amen. Zach, one of the best dialogues I've had so far in 2022, and we're just getting started. If I may quickly check over, we've been recording for 48 minutes, it says.
All right. It doesn't seem like it.
Well, it's going by pretty smooth. Now, I appreciate you being as patient with me as you have been, with me being as awkward as I am in the beginning of the podcast experiences, because it's going to be a long road. You know what I mean? Even if I got to end up doing it by myself, like, have you ever seen DJ Academics?
No, I can't say that I have. But
well, he just have you ever watched anybody that live streams?
The only podcast that I really watch is the Joe Rogan Experience.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, dude. That's a good way to. That's a good podcast to watch for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after having to take a break momentarily for about roughly 15 minutes or so.
We're back
to roll up. Three blunts? Three blunts. We had one already rolled, and at this point we have already opened.
We already smoked the first one. And
we're smoking the first one. It's about a quarter of the way to completion. Right? What you say? About halfway done? Anyway.
3/4, actually.
3/4. And Zach here has already opened up the next pack. Can you please explain what package was it that you opened?
Alright, this is the third edible. This was the trolley, the octopuses, and we've got 5 here. There's 2 green and blue ones, and 3 purple and red ones. So what I'm going to do is pass this to my esteemed colleague. He's going to get one of those.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to get one of those. He's going to get one of these.
Okay, what is this? This is an octopus?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I had one of these before, right? And then, now this is 2 of them. Now, before we get into this, I think we should probably give a proper breakdown after the last batch that we've had for the, and a rating as well.
So, this is also 600 milligrams total, so 5 octopuses, so 600 divided by 5 is...
Well, allow me to recap, if I may. The Fruity Pebbles, we both concluded, was a 10 out of 10. In taste, and quality, and how smooth it went down. The Captain Crunch, Zachary rated an 8.5 out of 10. And Tyler, being me, speaking in third person now, gave it a 9.
What happens when you're stoned?
So now that, immediately after that, we had the Very Berry, and I did feel like the marijuana intake was a lot stronger as we went along. I would still think that Very Berry was at least a 9. At least a 9. I want to say 10, but that Fruity Pebbles was exactly what I expected a Fruity Pebbles to taste like, and going into
I'll go with a 9. Because I knew that it was going to have that fire to it. Just something about that berry flavor. I knew it was going to be fire.
So you got experience with trolleys specifically before, or just this brand? Or?
No, it's just like with candy in general. When it comes to like strawberry flavors and shit like that, sometimes like with a lot of edibles, when you add THC to that, it just kind of adds to that. Excuse me, flavor fire.
Now, one thing that we forgot to go ahead and rate, because I believe Very Berry was after the All-Star Mix. So, what would we rate the All-Star Mix? The first octopus, I mentioned it had a lot more of a kick to it, if you will, because of the surface area on the octopus, which now I have 3 octopuses in front of me right now.
So, it seems like both of these, the All-Star Mix and the octopus, come in 5-piece partitions, servings, and that's 120 milligrams per piece. 120
a piece. Now, that's a good kick. It still tastes good. The octopus, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say 7.5. I'm going to be modest with the first All-Star Mix, the first octopus I had. I'm going to say 7.5. Not because I didn't enjoy the kick, but because it had the kick and everything else went down so much more smooth. I feel like that one actually I had to work it down, but it wasn't like a difficult task, but a task nonetheless, which got the rating of a 7.5 for me. What would you rate the first All-Star package?
The first All-Star package, I'll go ahead and give that like an 8.5. And then the octopus, I'll give that an 8 because that fire flavor is definitely there too. And just the texture of the octopus also makes it like you really have to chew. You know, you really have to chew through it.
And maybe that's why I'm having a hard time with it. But it was good though, nonetheless. Now we're at the second to last, right? What is this one you said it was again?
Well, we gotta finish these before we can.
What was that one you called?
This was the octopus.
The octopus? Is that what the bag is called?
Yep. Trolley sour bright octopuses.
Wow.
And that's 600 milligrams of THC. So we're at.
I got it ready.
So we're at.
You ready to break into it?
Hold on, I'm at 800, 1100 per, so both of us, 1100, so 1400 milligrams, we're both at 1400 milligrams, bro.
1,400 at this point.
At this point right now.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that official tally off to the side. 1,400 mg per.
Man, these are so good.
This is going down a whole lot better than the first octopus, I would say. I mean, this is comparable to the very berry in terms of how fruity and just enjoyable it is. Easy to go down.
Yeah, that blue and green octopus is definitely.
Well, I don't know which one's blue and green. I am colorblind. You remember? No worries. I'm a good guesser. And we got the blunt in rotation.
Yep.
And soon I'll have by the next episode, I hope to have the video working. So then everybody can witness exactly
what's going down right now. Because
this is epic right now.
Because y'all wish you were here right now.
I'm going to go ahead and take a picture right now on my phone while I go ahead. Now that we're in the middle of it, why not? For the snap. Should I take it of just the screen? Nah, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it like this. I'm going to take a selfie. Get the table in there. I'm going to do it like this right here. Fucking legendary. All I gotta do is flip that motherfucker because for some reason it took it upside down. But your boy, the edit god, will go ahead.
The edit god.
Every time I almost said the N-word on the first podcast. Gone.
Out of there.
I don't even gotta ask the engineer. I am the engineer. You know what I'm saying? Look at me. I am the engineer now.
Captain Phillips. Well, fucked up.
It's super interesting. I don't try to put a lot of pressure on myself on doing the podcast. I obviously want it to be respectable and some good content, and that's what I hope to be. And I'm going to work to make sure that it gets better and better every episode. But I got to say, I think when I look back on this is going to be a great experience, being that how far we went in this direction. You had a golden idea. I mean, literally, I got to give you pretty much all the credit for this beautiful idea you came through. I know I had a little bit of reproof and whatever, but man, with these edibles, man, I mean, extremely high quality.
Fuck yeah.
Not one got a bad rating of below 5. And we didn't have the grand finale yet, but I mean, I don't anticipate that one to be a below 5.
No, I haven't been disappointed by any of them yet, and they were all on point. The berry and the octopus were the strongest by far. You could definitely taste the THC. Not so much with the All-Stars. Definitely not with the Fruity Pebble bar. That one remains in my opinion, the best edibles.
The gold standard.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tasted no THC.
The Fruity Pebbles is a 10 out of 10.
With the Captain Crunch, it was delicious, but as soon as I bit into those berries, the marshmallows with that bar, I could taste some THC. So that's why I put it just below the Fruity Pebbles.
Exactly. Well, I got it. That's where I did disagree a little bit. I do feel like the Captain Crunch was a little bit better than what you said. I enjoyed the taste of it. I never felt like the THC was too much of a kicker. However, I only gave it a 0.5 rating higher than you did. So overall, I would say that everything was pretty much consistent over on the board. I still got one octopus left. Did you already finish that?
Yeah. And that's the blue and green one.
The blue and green.
Yeah, that was the best.
This was the best,
in my opinion.
Let me try it. I'll be the judge of that. Oh my goodness! I feel a lot of kick right from the beginning, but not bad kick, fruity kick.
You want some octopus?
My shoe squeaking right there sounded like an octopus.
You feel like a Norwegian.
I dropped a little bit of octopus on the Vader, come here, boy.
We're on a boat.
Vader, come here, boy. Sit, boy. Vader, sit.
Get you some.
Give me some paw, boy. Aw. Here you go, Vader. That's a good boy. Now go lay down. Go on now. Get. That's a good boy. That's the best boy on the block right there. Shout out Vader. Shout out Ronnie 2K. Just us.
All right, we're coming to the grand finale. The Gas Heads Extreme Bites.
Big smoke in the air.
600 milligram, 10 pieces.
Oh man, you know those memes that you see on Facebook where it's like, what are you doing after you smoke this? I feel like that meme right now.
Right, like what are you doing after you just ate 6 edibles? Like back to back.
I'm trying to do a podcast.
It's like Joe Rogan eat like 6 edibles.
Well, you know,
can you imagine if Joe Rogan ate 6 edibles in a row on his podcast?
I think I watch a lot of Joe Rogan. At least I did in the past, and I watch him a little bit less now that he went over to Spotify, just based off the accessibility fact of it. But nonetheless,
there you go, dog.
Oh my goodness,
there you go, big dog.
Do I get half of that or all of it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
5 pieces.
Man, that looks good. But I think I remember him saying that he regretted being as high as he was in some of his earlier episodes. Now, if this is something I would regret, I can't say right now. But I do think that this is a very fun experience overall. This is the type of podcast I want to listen to. That's fucking, especially it being local.
Same, I tune into this every day.
Now, I appreciate that, man. You're a real one, Zach. Always been a supporter ever since day one.
Absolutely, man. Day one.
My man. Now, I must announce, we're getting into the grand finale. We've been saving this for last. This is the Gas Heads Extreme Bites. This is what Zach said would probably be his favorite from the very beginning.
And I think it is. I think this is my new favorite.
He started it out before I did. I'm about to have my
just
first
took the
bite. What
first
do you
piece.
think, Zach? While I go ahead and get on with my first bite.
I wasn't trying to jump the gun on you, but I took the first piece and it did not disappoint.
Did not disappoint.
It's just like an air. It's just like an airhead. It tastes just like an airhead.
Really?
I don't really taste any gas flavor. There's so many like.
Now take the blunt though. That might change it.
There's so many.
I'm feeling a kick off the first bite, but I feel like I just had a little bit mouthful of smoke as well. So
there's so many like flavor crystals on it too. Like I don't know if that's just sugar or like.
I got it all over my hand now. I'm gonna have to lick my hand, or maybe I Vader.
Maybe that's fucking THC. Yeah, it's like all over my fingers.
Oh man. Muy delicioso. FuegoTV coming in international with the multicultural language, breaking barriers.
Guys,
I
wish you could see these gas heads. I wish you could see.
Take a picture on your phone. Show people. That way you can post in a comment.
This is the top of the top. This is the top shelf.
I just took 3 at once. So that go down. I've been rather light with enjoying the bite by bite. Rather slow. Taking the 3 at once was a tremendous decision so far.
I just did the same thing. I just popped 3.
Got 3? Mm-hmm. Like Steph Curry, right?
Hey, there. Drop back 3.
Zach hit the step back 3.
Drop back 3.
Buzzer beater, game winning shot. Right in the face of the defender.
Yes, sir.
No regard for human life.
So, we were at, what, 1,400?
Well, I got the count right here. After the berry, we were at 1,400. That was before the octopus.
Nah, no way.
It's a fact. After the berry, 1,400 milligrams. That's what you calculated so far. Per each 1,400. We gotta do a recount. Not another recount.
No, we were at, hold on.
We're going to be recounting all day.
We were at 800 here.
Stop the count.
We were at 800
Zach,
here.
stop the count.
1100. Where's the octopus?
Where is the octopus?
Yeah, where's the octopus? Oh, here it is.
There you go.
1400, so now we're at 1700.
1700 after the era?
Yeah, 1700, yeah.
1700 total.
For both of us.
So maybe
we split everything down the middle. So that would be 3,400 milligrams total.
THC. Not including any of the marijuana that is still burning.
Yeah, and not including the blunts that we smoke.
Smoking,
yes, sir.
And plural, too.
Back to back. Back to back.
Back to back like Drake. Now, I bring up back to back like Drake, and I think this would be a good way to segue back into where I'm trying to circle back to with the more serious topics that we started out earlier. I had some other thoughts about that. With Drake, I gotta ask you personally, just getting to know you a little bit, man. What kind of music do you like personally? I mean, do you like Drake? Do you think he's a good artist?
There was a time when I used to listen to, like, Drake and Lil Wayne and, like, of course, growing up in, 2005, 6, 7, 8, like, and then coming here, going to, middle school, high school, whatever. I listened to nothing but mainstream, but now as an adult, I don't listen to any mainstream music. I listen to, underground, like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a lot of shit, and what actually got me into it was a little bit of Suicide Boys, but there's a lot of Suicide Boys that I won't listen to just because some of their stuff, goes to like a really dark, like a really dark place.
Oh, I love that dark shit, man. The energy behind that is crazy. It reminds me of the Southeast style of fucking XXX Temptation or a Lil Peep.
Yeah, I sent you that link of that XXX.
Where's Bones? You know Bones? Have you ever heard of Bones? He's really fucking hard, too. I'm not sure where he's from.
I'm not familiar with that.
But he came, he's about 8 years before Lil Peep. He got some shit that is hard. It's like, sounds like kind of like Lil Peep.
But that Michael Jackson, XXX Temptation, Don't Matter to Me.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever I sent you, dude, that was riding.
That was one of the best.
I had to listen to that again, like...
I wish we could listen to it right now, but the thing is, it's just because of the fucking the lease agreement or whatever, I couldn't. But the thing is, thank you for understanding, but thank you so much more for sending me that shit, because I don't really listen to a lot of mixes, like fan-made mixes and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that I listened to that one, man, because the X and Michael Jackson mix, I mean, it fit a lot better than you would immediately think, and then it just kept going and going, and it was dope.
Well, people tend to forget because they get so caught up in, like, the fucked up shit he did that he was a very talented individual, and he should be given all the credit and respect that came with what he made. He produced, like, he made songs, and he put that work in.
If I may give a little bit of pushback, I would say that there's a comparison being R. Kelly. Now, a lot of people say with R. Kelly and what he did, obviously it being more extreme than what happened with X, or the accusations, rather, that happened with X, because that was my point, being I don't really know if anything was proven guilty in a court of law when it comes to X doing any domestic abuse or anything. All those charges got dropped. I don't think he had any other charges that were about fighting with a girlfriend or sexually assaulting anybody like R. Kelly had allegations of. And everybody in the music industry says that is canceling R. Kelly. So talking about the cancel culture and how that plays into what you just said, I don't think that you would have the same tune about R. Kelly, right? I mean, because you're saying to give him the respect of his craft, but people say fuck the respect of your craft for an R. Kelly. They're saying, but for an X, why is it inappropriate for X but not R. Kelly? Or do you think it's okay to listen to R. Kelly's music still, even after all the scumbag shit that he did?
The whole problem that I have with it is that the industry knows what's going on. They know about it, and they try to cover it up as much as they can.
Absolutely. We all know
that's what the main fucking problem is. And
I'm over here smoking 2 blunts. Let me get one on. Keep going.
Sir. And it really does come down to the industry taking a stand on where, you know, like, are you going to keep supporting people that glorify violence and drugs and, you know, womanizing and shit like that? Like,
well, it's 2022, man, and a lot of people are waking up, but some people take it too far at the same time. You know what I mean? They're being woke and whatnot, but I'll be honest with you, man. I've never been the most educated, but I've always been very aware. You know what I mean? I try to listen, and with that, I've learned a decent amount of things. I still got a lot more stuff to learn, being that I'm only 22. But man, what the fuck were you even talking about?
I don't know. We got into the music industry. That's the last thing I remember.
There you go. All right, so now would be a good time to look at my beautifully detailed list of topics that we can talk about. Oh, this is great. Let's go ahead and have you give an update on what is to come in the UFC. Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. Some of your favorite UFC fighters at the time, right?
All I can say is, oh my goodness, and anybody listening to this who is a UFC fan, you already know what's going to go down. Jorge Masvidal has already put out a post on Instagram in the gym where he and Colby Covington used to train together when they were best friends.
Where did they grow up at?
They didn't grow up together.
Oh,
but they trained with the same team.
Word.
And he has already told Colby he intends to do the same thing to him that he did to Ben Askren. He wants to put his knee to his temple and just clean his clock. And
good old fashioned knee to the temple.
And
gets him every time.
You know, it is going to be a total grudge match because Colby Covington has been doing nothing but leveling. You know, just.
Is he the guy to beat right now?
No, him and Kamaru Usman had a huge rivalry where Kamaru came out on top and became the UFC. I believe it was welterweight champion.
I think it's safe to say right now, after our previous conversations and what you've demonstrated, so thus far, rather, you have got to be. If we were to adopt an ESPN format, you are undoubtedly the UFC boxing or whatever specialist. And I could relate being the undisputed basketball expert at this point of the podcast.
Absolutely.
The NBA guys. I would say that the best player in the NBA right now, at least the last 2 months, has been undoubtedly Joel Embiid. While a lot of people feel like LeBron James would be able to turn it up in the playoffs, Joel Embiid has been putting up some historical numbers for the Philadelphia 76ers. And unanimously, pretty much so, is the best player and right now deservingly of the MVP of the season were to end the day. With that being said, who is the Joel Embiid of the UFC right now? Is it a Jorge Masvidal? Or who's the best fighter in the UFC? Maybe whenever it comes down to winning a championship belt, you know that this guy's going to step up to the plate and he's going to put on a show and most likely come home with the victory. Is that a Colby Covington?
Colby Covington has certainly displayed that he has the wrestling, he has the striking accuracy and the technicality of fighting style that he uses is very aggressive and very effective, and he's dominated in all of his fights and really was not presented with much challenges until he started his rivalry with Kamaru Usman, who broke his jaw and eventually knocked him out and ended the fight by TKO and became UFC welterweight champion. Well, I believe it was welterweight. I'm not sure which weight class they fight at exactly.
Do you remember when it was though?
Oh gosh, this was
not specifically. Was it recently or was
it? It was a couple of years ago at least.
A couple years ago.
I think it might have been like 2 years ago.
And you saying that TKO was fucking epic, or do you watch the fight?
I did watch the fight.
What do you remember from it?
I remember it was two men who had almost the very same identical fighting style, just very aggressive, very straight punches mostly. I really did not see many hooks. I saw a few uppercuts, but you didn't really see... What's that one
game where you just got those two guys that just, the red and the blue characters, that just, like, it's like a little joystick game where you just punch each other in the face?
Like rock 'em, sock 'em,
or whatever. Yeah, you're saying it was like that?
Kind of, except they had their fists turned like this, so it was more like this, you know, just like pistons firing.
Wow. I like the UFC, man, but a lot of times I watch it and it seems a little bit too violent for me. Like, it seems like I like a little bit of fight and whatnot. I love boxing mainly. But the UFC, I mean, sometimes when you see a guy get kicked in the shin and then the guy who did the kick, his leg breaks and he falls down, and then he gets the hammer fist to the head or whatever. I mean, it's sometimes just seems like, man, that's pretty fucking rough. But it is cool.
Well, they have to do that. When you see them go in, when they're down and you see them going for those hammer fists, it's because it's the ref's job to call the fight off. And the ref, he won't call the fight off unless you can't continue. And that's usually when you're unconscious.
And you took a different approach to that answer than I would have predicted if I had to guess. But the thing is that it's such a good answer, like it's professional sounding. It really seems like more evidence that if there was any beefs that were to come from any Florida rappers, and if we were ever to host a fight, somehow we'd have to get some type of contracts and all that figured out, obviously, but if we were ever to get that far, you would be my first phone call in terms of who to be the referee, and I hope that you can honor me with that service.
Absolutely.
I'll pay it, of course. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it, Zach.
Be the Herb Dean of Florida's finest. You guys have heard it here first.
Oh, man. Appreciate it.
Y'all folks heard it here first.
Now, with that being
shout out to Herb Dean. He's the best in the biz. Awesome dude.
Shout out Herb.
Just, you know,
shout out
great human being. Like, the best in the business. Gold standard. No questions. Undisputed.
Did you watch his episode on Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I think he has a few episodes, but every single Herb Dean one that I've seen, it was always fucking great.
Yeah, Herb Dean is just so down to earth.
Hey, how cool is Joe Rogan that he has a podcast talking shit, right? And then he got a podcast. He got people making podcasts talking shit about his podcast talking shit. Fucking come on, man. That's like an interviewer interviewing an interviewer inside the interview.
Have you ever seen the episode where it was like a mini documentary about his turning sidekick?
No.
Because Joe Rogan was like a Taekwondo champion, like master, and he has like literally the best turning sidekick in MMA. Like, it's so beautiful, so perfect. Like, he turns it, you know, he like pivots his hips and extends his leg and just kind of drives his heel into you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with episode 2 of FuegoTV with Zack Leonard, the CEO of Sun Health Essentials. And just to provide a quick update after that UFC recap that we just went into, we have ordered pizza from Domino's. We have spent the last 15 minutes or so trying to collect ourselves to where we could operate and function enough to perform a podcast.
1,700 milligrams.
1,700 milligrams of the edibles and several blunts. At least 5.
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, at least 5.
We're doing all right in Central Florida on a Saturday. We're doing all right. We're on 10, and
I think we're doing better than all right, y'all. We're doing an epic. Catch our edible review with Fuego.
Speaking of edible review, there's one thing I'd like to get into real quick, if I may. I'd like to talk about what plans you have for your show that you plan on piloting on TYTV. Is there a date that one could expect that from? Anybody listening to this that would look forward to the type of reviews that you would be putting on?
Well, I could honestly say to anybody listening to this, if you wanted to expect a new show from me, if you wanted to hear more from me and
where can people check out your
nutraceutical, expertise, you can catch me sometime in March. Earliest would be March.
The earliest date that could possibly drop is March, you're saying? Early March?
Yes, sir.
Wow, man. Looking forward to that.
I don't know.
Well, it's been about an hour and 20 minutes. It's 8 o'clock. Zach, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
I appreciate you, bro. We got so much more shit we could talk about, but that's for the next episode, man, and I'm sure the people are going to be looking forward to that. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we sign out?
I'd just like to say I had a blast. Thank you, Florida's Finest, A6 Productions.
Thank you.
Shout out to all the fans. Thank you, guys. I had a blast reviewing all these edibles with you, and if you ever need health information, tips on fitness, CBD, THC, dosing, or if you just want to start a holistic medicine regimen, please contact me, Sun Health Essentials, LLC.
All right, man. Well, you heard it here first. It's FuegoTV, episode 2. We're signing out. Zach, thank you again, and we'll see you next time, y'all.